Welcome to the Young Genius Sports Podcast. I'm the host of Young Genius. We have it's a great day, isn't it? Nice Tuesday. Lunchtime pause, man. Let's get into it, man. I want to start off right off the bat. With Liverpool, man. I want to get right into it, man. Obviously, we know 2 days ago we played Newcastle at St. James's Park. It was a good game. It was a good game for the neutral. Late winner from Liverpool. Basically won with the last kick of the game. New signing Victor Munoz forces a penalty at the last second. I'm sure, again, everybody who watched the game knows what happened. There's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter came from the game. I talked about it briefly yesterday. Gary Neville, Daniel Sturridge, Jamie Carragher, everybody has stuff to say about Liverpool, about the way the team's built, about some of the tactics and things that Iriola um, put into his game plan and what happened. What I don't understand is blaming players for the coach's tactics. I never understood that. Gravenberch, everybody's talking about Gravenberch as a six. Is Traignoni a good enough six to be his cover? We didn't even get to see Traignoni play. And he's versatile. He's more than a six. McAllister has played six some. I do believe, just out of the spirit of having depth, right? We look at teams like Paris Saint-Germain, like teams like Arsenal. You look at teams like Man City. You look at teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and you talk about their depth. And this is the caliber of team that you know Liverpool is in, the upper echelon of teams. Right, we're one of the elite teams, so we need elite depth. Right now, we're talking about Liverpool. Right now, Coach. We'll get into your LSU Tigers here soon. But right now, we're talking about Liverpool, and right now, I'm talking about people blaming the players for the coach's tactics. This happens in college football as well. People will blame uh, quarterbacks for playing bad when it's bad play call. Right? They'll blame running backs for playing bad and not having good production when it's bad play calling. When we're still running inside zone and we haven't gotten any interior push all day. When we'll blame receivers for poor production when they're not getting plays called for them. This happens in basketball as well. We can't blame players for coaches' tactics. I'm hearing Gravenberch getting a lot of blame. Gravenberch was our best player. Why are we blaming players for coaches' tactics? Right? Kirkez, we just got to go ahead and talk about Kirkez. Like I said yesterday when we talked about being a good fan, I'm not gonna bash Kirkez. I'm just gonna say it like this. Hey, uh, he's not good enough yet. He still has. Hey, players are allowed to get better, right? We talked about, when Nick Jens is on here, players are allowed to get better, right? Kirkez, you're allowed to get better, but right now you're just not good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club. I'm sorry. when you just get outran, we're talking about soccer here, football, whatever you want to call it. When you just get outran, right? That can't happen. That's like a corner in American football, right? Just getting ran past. Can that happen in the SEC? Can that happen in the SEC, Nick German? Can that happen in the SEC? No. You're going to get cut. Can that happen in the NFL? No. You're going to get cut. So in the Premier League, can we have guys that are a left back or a right back in the defense just getting ran past for goals? That can't happen. We're over here talking about our midfield. Mind you, this midfield was the best midfield in the world 2 years ago. Let's talk about it. People don't like Arne Slot and they wanted him out the door. We had the best midfield in the world 2 years ago. Right? Right, and here's Nick Jen. Yeah. 22 zone Bob has to work. Certain things have to work. If you're going to be a pressing football team, if you're going to be a pressing soccer team, the press has to work. Right? The press has to work. If we're going to send all our players forward and trying to go get a goal and try to put pressure on the team, it has to work. We talk about Paris Saint-Germain. Why are they so good? Look at their fullbacks. Their fullbacks are their best players. You talk about Nuno Mendes, who's arguably one of the best players in the world last year. And was arguably the best player in the world last year for a lot of it. One of the best left backs we've ever seen play football. You talk about Hakimi, again, one of the best players in the world. We see what he's done for Morocco. We see the deep runs he's making for Morocco, historic deep runs for Morocco in the World Cup. He's one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best right back. He is the best right back in the world. They have the best right back and the best left back in the world. When was the last time Liverpool was good? When we had the best right back and the best left back in the world. Trenton, Andy Robertson. Both are gone. Both are gone. Both we could use. Frimpong, not really a right back. But the talk about him not being defensive, not being able to play defense, that has to go. That has to stop. I'll tell you one thing, he won't get ran past. All right? Let's just get back to the basics. Let's get back to the basics. Hey, let's have guys that are of the caliber of elite. You can't be an elite footballer and not have elite speed. Working hard isn't good enough. Liking a player because he works hard isn't good enough at any level of professional sports. That is the bare minimum. Oh my God, I just like him because he works hard. He's just willing to sacrifice. He's willing to give it all. We don't care. This is Liverpool Football Club. Working hard, putting your body on the line is the bare minimum. Everybody should do it. When you wear the Liverpool badge, you're supposed to work hard. Okay? Now, when you wear the Liverpool badge, working hard is a non-negotiable. You also have to be tactically sound, right? You also have to be technically sound. This is Liverpool. This is the 6-time European champions, the 20-time league champions. This is an elite football club, the team with the most trophies in the toughest league. What are we talking about? Now, let's get to this college football, man. I'm excited. Hey, let's get to this college football. LSU signed, had some big signings yesterday. NFL guys coming back to college. Couldn't quite cut it, could you? I'm not mad at you, man. Hey, you got an opportunity to come back. Like we talked about it briefly yesterday, right? You got an opportunity to come back to college sports, right? You technically didn't know that you had an extra year of eligibility, right? So if we're being fair, these guys technically didn't know that they were guaranteed a 5th year of eligibility, right? That was a new rule that just got passed by President Trump and his administration. So you enter the draft not knowing that you have an extra year of eligibility. You didn't quite cut it in the preseason, and so you come back to college football. You have an opportunity to get paid, right, with NIL. You have an opportunity to sleep, have nice sleeping conditions, have that get paid for. You have an opportunity to eat great, right? You get a guy that's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe even millions of dollars to put you on the right eating plan and training plan. You understand what you have to get better at. You understand what you did poorly at the next level. And now you get to come back to college football and have a and have an advantage going into next season, going into you trying to become a professional. The Big Ten did make a ruling about they don't want any of those NFL players coming back to their conference. I I don't know. I don't think this helps the Big Ten. The Big Ten has been the premier football conference um, in college football over the last years. Right, the last three champions. You talk about Michigan. You're talking about Ohio State. You're talking about Indiana. Right, Oregon has always been a top five team. They've played like it uh, over the last couple of years as well. I don't. I don't know. I don't think this helps. I don't think this helps the Big Ten. Is this the year the SEC wins the Natty again due to the portal period? I think the SEC was probably going to win the championship anyways. Big Ten fans will probably point to this, but I mean it was almost a unanimous, basically a unanimous decision that the Big Ten didn't want these players coming back. I don't think they really understood, why they were granted that extra year. Lane Kiffin kind of, you know, perfectly, told and educated people why they were given that extra year. Obviously, Lane Kiffin, even though he said no, I don't think it should happen. He was making phone calls weeks ago about what he was seeing, what guys were doing at college, at not at college, but at in the NFL. So I think I think the SEC was going to win anyways because we have upwards of $40 million rosters in the SEC now. Right, Texas. We talk about Texas. They're a good looking football team. If Arch Manning can just be, you know, uh 80% of what we thought he was gonna be, they'll be a really good football team with the talent that they have at every position. You talk about Alabama with Keelan Russell. He looks to be electric. He's a right now he's a wild card. Right now he's a wild card that can make this team elite. Right, we know Kalen DeBoer can call plays. Um, can their defense stop people? Can they run the football? That's still yet to be seen. Those were the big question marks for that team last year. Stopping the inside zone and running inside zone, right? As Nick Jen calls it, move somebody. Can those guys move somebody? But they have an elite athlete at quarterback. We'll see what they can do. I also like Mississippi State's quarterback. They might have the best quarterback in the conference, honestly. Mississippi State's quarterback might be the best quarterback in the conference. And I want to go on record in saying that right now. I think his name is Malik Washington. I could be talking about the Maryland quarterback or the NC State. I get them all kind of confused. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Who's a Mississippi State football quarterback? Chat, Mario Taylor. Mario Taylor. That's what it is. Lee Washington. That's Maryland, right? Malik Washington's a wide receiver. As a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, he's the quarterback at. He's also the quarterback at Maryland. Yeah, Malik Washington looked really good last year. Uh, 6'5", 230. People were saying that he looked really good at the Manning Passing Academy. And then Kamario Taylor, they said he looked really good at the Manning Passing Academy as well. ACC and SEC need to capitalize. I think they will. I think they will. Especially if the Big Ten is 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 not going to allow their teams to go out and get these guys. I mean, these are pretty good guys. These are guys that made NFL rosters at least, for the preseason. So they have some talent about them. They were able to practice and play, with NFL talent. They were to be around the NFL facility. I think it's going to give them an extra itch, an extra edge, to be that close to recognizing their goals, to be that close to recognizing their dreams, to be able to have, like we said, firsthand, direct um, feedback on what they need to get better at, on what those scouts would like to see. When you know exactly what they're looking for, you can work on it, right? So I think that'll be good for those guys. Except OSU and Oregon. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does what does except OSU and Oregon mean? Does this mean that OSU and Oregon get special treatment from the Big Ten? What does this mean? Somebody clear this up. Somebody clear this up in the chat. Does Ohio State and Oregon get to have some of these players? Oh, they weren't. Okay. They weren't against getting players back, obviously. So yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Right. The schools with the money obviously wanted to yeah. Like I said, it was almost unanimous. Right? The schools with the money, Ohio State, Oregon, they wanted the NFL talent to come back. Especially, I mean, they're coming back. But they wanted them to join um, the Big Ten. The Big Ten says no. The Big Ten has been pretty, outspoken this year and on the front foot about keeping immature sports amateur, even though it's NIL and things of that nature. And people are having $50 million rosters and $40 million rosters. They want to keep college sports as immature as possible, right? The ruling that they did on the Texas Tech quarterback, right, was proof of it, saying, "Hey, he can come back, but we ain't playing none of them. No Big Ten school will play Texas Tech, all right." So the Big Ten, I gotta commend the Big Ten. I gotta commend the Big Ten. Obviously, the rest of the schools, the Iowa States, the Iowas, the Minnesotas, the Oregon States. Oregon State is in Pac-12, right? Washington's, even though Washington's got some money, but of course those schools would be against guys coming back. I'm surprised USC, a school with some money like that, wouldn't want it, but I'm sure they all know. Just like how LSU is getting a lot of these guys, that Ohio State and and Oregon were going to get most of these guys, right? When you've been scouting and already preparing for a team, you don't want to you don't want to add in guys from the NFL. Those are for college sports elite guys coming back down. You don't want to have that extra thing to worry about. Let's do it, right? Let's talk about LSU, man. Let's go ahead. We got to talk about LSU. Why do we have to talk about LSU? Because LSU went out, they signed, I think, 3 guys back from the NFL. Did they sign 3 guys back from the NFL? Let's look at it. LSU. LSU. NFL players return. The LSU head coach Lane Kiffin has sparked national debate by actively recruiting former NFL rookies back to college football. Tight end Daquan Wright and defensive lineman Shavion Harris are planning unprecedented returns to college with the Tigers after being waived by their NFL teams. Interesting. And them getting the first state ruling that players could return was Louisiana. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That seems a little sketchy. Seems a little sketchy. So they got two right now. They got 2 guys right now. 2 former Ole Miss guys too. At that, very interesting. The Eagles cut Daquan Wright. The Browns cut Daquan Wright. The Saints cut Shavion Harris. Interesting. The SEC issued a firm statement opposing the trend, stating that individuals who sign pro contracts should not then be permitted to return to college competition. The Big Ten banned it immediately, taking immediate legislative action. The Big Ten Conference voted to officially ban any player who has ever appeared on an NFL roster, signed a pro contract, or declared for the draft from joining its member schools. Lane Kiffin defended the strategy, noting that because a judge granted the players eligibility, they were going to play somewhere, and his primary duty is to field the most competitive team possible for LSU. Wow. So Lane Kiffin did say in his interview that he was not big on on it happening next year. He doesn't want it to happen next year, but he is okay with it happening this year. Obviously, like we said, because guys were granted a 5th year by a judge in they were granted a 5th year by the president, and these guys didn't know that they had an extra year of eligibility, so they went pro, ended up getting cut. Some possibly would have came back and played in the in college football for a 5th year, um, which is believable. Guys, for the most part, know whether they're good enough or not to make an NFL roster. But I mean, teams are fielding about 100 guys on the start of at the start of camp, and they cut about 50 of them. A lot of people already have guaranteed contracts from the draft, so that's about 7 of those guys. Um, Sixth and seventh round picks really usually don't make the roster. They usually are practice squad guys. So You're bringing in about 5 rookies guaranteed every year. That means you're hoping that 5 guys retire, 5 guys leaving free agency. Maybe some of them get hurt. Everybody else is pretty much practice squad, right? Practice squad, XFL, arena football, Ireland, Japan, right? College sports is college sports is the next best option, right? Coming back to the SEC is the next best option. Going back to the ACC is the next best option. Obviously, the Big Ten is not going to have it. That's interesting. The SEC, issues a firm statement opposing it, but they don't ban it. Is the SEC? Do we think the SEC is desperate to win another national championship? It raises eyebrows, doesn't it? Is the SEC desperate to win another championship? Is the SEC desperate to win one after not? So these are the 3 guys that they got: a D end, a tight end, and a D tackle. We just talked about Shavion Harris and Roquan, Daquan Wright. Who was the Daquan Wright? Who's the other one? Why can guys like Trinidad get a 5th year, but guys who couldn't get drafted can't? Simple explanation to that. He didn't sign a pro contract. Right? He didn't sign a pro contract. That's why. Trinidad can come back and play a 5th year because he never wanted to leave college. He didn't sign a pro contract. Right? I thought that was pretty obvious. Who's excited for Fajon? I'm excited for Fajon. Let's go watch some highlights from Fajon. I really wish, spring games were still played. There's no highlights from the spring game, but let's go watch some Fajon highlights. Let's get excited. Let's get pumped up. Let's get amped up for this new season, man. Tennessee, what are we? We're less than 18 days away. I saw a post. We got to be like what? Today's Tuesday. What are we? 15 days away, 16 days away from wish we had college highlights. See, I wish there was some type of spring preseason or something. Whether it was flag football, just something competitive to watch before the season starts. There isn't a lot of tape on Fajon. Like he wasn't as in the media as Nico was. We got a lot of tape before the season started on Nico. A lot of the stuff that we saw on the tape we didn't see at Tennessee. We ended up seeing it at UCLA against Penn State. Is that going to be the game that gets him drafted? Because honestly, besides that game, we haven't seen a lot. It's going to be a reaction video. Can we just get a highlight tape? 5-star Tennessee. I've seen the state title game. That's fine. Let's watch the state title game again. Let's see what we're seeing from Fajon right here, man.
The late 80s and the Grimsley Whirlies, who were the 4A champs just a year ago. Patrick Keenest, Jay Sonhalter, Madison Little is down in the field. Noah Smith in the backfield.
Here we go.
Small
Okay, he's
calls
mobile.
his number, sprinting ahead inside the 5, driving,
Love that.
spinning, and scoring for the Comets.
Oh, that's not Faison.
A resolute touchdown run
My fault. That wasn't
by
Faison.
Aiden Smalls, and what a start for the
Shout out to
Clayton
that guy,
Comets.
There's a certain intensity that he brings,
We want to see
bringing the defender's drive on.
guys in the Navy.
Fifth for
here. So
and an
adversity.
absolutely sterling beginning to
How
this
about a guy
7-8
dealing
title
with
game for the
adversity?
Clayton Comets. They force a 3-and-out from the defending champs, take a short field, and power it home for a touchdown lead. Slot left and right on third and goal.
Junior.
Brandon across the middle. Catch is made. And then
Junior.
tackled into the end zone by Daniel Lovelace Davis. Touchdown,
Did he go
Hudson
to, did
Cooper
he go
and
to
Grimsley.
Ohio State too?
This is extra effort from Hudson Cooper. This is a slant route, gets inside.
Let's see.
the
I mean, he's gonna have to throw a
and
lot of
then as
slants
he's
at
being
Tennessee.
tackled,
So
keeps
let's
his balance and
see this. real quick.
lunges. And
Let's go back.
from
See what we're seeing.
Lovelace catch it and
I
goal.
wish we could have saw the whole drive.
Brandon
It's the ball right
across
there. Nice
the middle.
arm talent.
Catch is
throw.
made. And then
That's all
tackled
receiver
into the
there.
end. Across the middle to the right
it-
on third and goal.
Let's see. Is it
Brandon.
in stride?
Across the
Not
middle.
really in stride.
Third and goal.
But it is. It does hit
Brandon.
him in the numbers. Look at that.
Across the middle. Catch is made.
if you're a
and
chest
then
catcher,
Brandon
No problem with catching that ball. That's a good
across
ball.
the middle. Catch
We want
is
it to be a little
made.
bit more in stride, so
Brandon
the receiver doesn't have to slow down.
across
But
the middle.
it
It's
looked
on
like
third
the
and goal.
corner was gonna make a play on that
Brandon.
ball. Anyway,
Across the middle. Catch is made. And then
And the corner took.
Brandon across
But
the
it's
middle.
right on the numbers
Catch is made. And
give
then
your receiver a
tackled
chance.
into the end zone by Daniel Lovelace
Good
Davis.
ball.
Touchdown Hudson Cooper and Grimsley.
It's a good ball. I'm not mad at the ball. You're gonna throw a lot of slants at Tennessee. No free promo. No free promo. No free promo.
The border is 2,000
No free promo. No
kilometers.
free promo. No free
You ready
promo.
for this?
No free promo. No free promo. No free promo.
with the
Why are we getting promo?
Rated PG-13.
Why are we getting promo in an
an
8-minute clip? What are we doing?
The Infinity
You just want to watch highlights. Guys, man, so money hungry.
this is extra effort
Look at this.
from Hudson Cooper.
Doesn't get a good
This is
snap.
slant route,
Puts the
gets
ball.
inside
It's a good ball,
the defender,
man. Fix the ball.
And then as he's being
I
tackled,
don't like, and what I do
this is a
like at the
slant
same
route,
time
gets in.
is
This is extra effort from
The
Hudson
footwork.
Cooper. This is a slant route,
very
gets
Hendon
inside
Hooker-ish.
the defender, and then as
which
he's
was a
being
good thing
tackled,
because you got to
keeps
make
his-
quick
his
reads. You
balance
know,
and
you being able to throw the ball
launches
flat
into
foot is
As
good.
he's being Cooper.
But
this is a slant route, gets
Those deep
inside
balls, it
the
tends to be a
defender
little bit
from
inaccurate
Hudson
at
Cooper.
times.
This is a slant route, gets inside
I
the
like how he turns
effort
into the throw.
from Hudson Cooper. This is a slant route, gets inside
Kinda shuts the
defender,
door. You
and
know, they were
then as
taught to
he's
shut
being
the
tackled,
door.
keeps his
That back
his
foot
balance
kind of shuts the
and
door. It's an
launches
accurate football.
into the end zone.
It's a
Keeps-
great spiral.
So the slant route gets inside the defender
That's
from Hudson Cooper. This is a slant route, gets inside the
That's a good
defender,
throw.
and then as he's being
We're gonna have to throw a lot of
tackled, keeps
slants.
his
at
balance
Tennessee.
and launches into the end zone. DJ Howerton, their
we go.
Rutgers signee, involved in the game.
Oh, he's
plan.
mobile.
Here goes Brandon. We don't see a lot of
Right,
this.
and this is
very
the thing
often,
that
but he dives
Most people
ahead
say
on
was
a
going to win him the
keeper
job
to
over
the
G-Mac.
25-yard line.
Anyway.
Defending champion
His
Grimsley.
mobility.
And the Clayton Comets. Here comes Brandon. Hard angle to the
Right,
right
being
side.
able to
Drag
run the
down
entire
near the
offense.
5-yard line. We
Be
talked about
mobile.
his ability
He's
to
not
throw
as
the football, an NFL pocket
lengthy
pass prototype.
As
I didn't expect to see as much kind of quarterback
Nico is,
draws as
so
we're
he's-
seeing from
he's
Brandon
going to be
tonight.
able to be a little bit more
Cooper in
mobile.
motion. Brandon
Nico
calls
was
his
thinking about
name
UCLA.
to the goal line and
But
touchdown.
it just looks different when Nico gets
Grimsley.
hit, right? Like when he gets hit, his
Face
whole
on
body is
Brandon, probing.
like
and
one of those
just
people,
getting
one of
enough from
those
3 yards out.
car
And the
car
defending
lot.
champs have their first lead of this 7-8 title game. That's Ferguson in motion. And there goes Small, set out to the right, now back in motion. Another fumbled snap, it's loose, and it's covered up by the Whirlies. An absolute disastrous first two plays.
They got it right
Out
back.
of intermission by the Clayton Comets. Whirlies football off of the turnover at the Clayton 26. Now can the Comets defense
See a ball.
make a stand? Brandon looks to
That's
throw
gonna be something he has
toward
to
the
do.
end zone,
Oh.
and it's intercepted inside the 5-yard line by Clayton. Jaheim Stevenson the savior for
Look
the
at it.
Clayton. Oh, toward 6. Now
at
can
it.
the Comets defense
All right.
make a stand?
If he throws
Yeah,
it
Brand-
now, that's fine. But look at this. Look at the footwork here. We just talked about it. The flat throw, the flat-footed throws. Look how much he would have to shut the door for his back foot to be even with his front foot.
And look,
Right? He doesn't even shut the door. Door's not shut. Right? It's still staggered.
to throw
And I mean the ball
Oh,
is kind of lofted.
for the end zone, and it's intercepted inside the 5-yard line by Clayton Jaheim Stevenson,
Arm talent,
the
right?
savior
Hey, 5-star,
for the
touchdown
Comets.
arm. I get a little bit lazy with my mechanics. I get a little bit lazy with my footwork. Leads to a turnover.
Smalls
We do not
cross
care.
the middle, and it's some room on the right.
Yeah, a lot of
Pumps, throws a
no-nos right
dangerous
there.
ball across the middle.
A lot
Finds
of
some room on the-
no-nos. Hey, don't throw the ball
The
off
right.
your back foot. Let's look. Yeah, he threw it off his back foot. Okay? Hey, don't throw the ball late across
Smalls,
the middle.
4-man rush, finds some room on the right.
It's late. Is this
Pumps,
across
throws
the
a
middle?
dangerous ball. 4-man
Hey, don't
rush.
throw the ball
finds some
fading
room on
away.
the right.
Is that a
Pumps,
fadeaway
throws
throw?
a dangerous Smalls, 4-man rush, finds some room on the right.
He did 3 no-nos. Don't throw the
Pumps,
ball
throws
late
a
across the
dangerous
middle. Don't throw the
across
ball off your
middle,
back
and
foot.
it's
Don't throw the ball
intercepted by
fading away.
Guyon.
He did the
And
3
Whirly
no-nos.
steps
Right
out
there.
of a tackle
Yeah, it's
into
going to
the
be an
end
interception every
zone.
time.
Touchdown, Grimsley.
Not every time. Not if you're Patrick Mahomes. Was that Glaze? I'm sorry. Was that Glaze?
A loose ball on the exchange, and the Whirlies. Faulty exchange. We've seen. And that snap never got
Wow.
balls right off the arm.
You're
There's
looking
too
like
many
North
mistakes.
Carolina.
And 7. Battle goes in motion on the jet sweep. Battle angles hard into the stand toward the side wall. Comets trying to regain some composure here. Smalls
No touchdown.
darts wide. Can't get the corner. Slow down and
Got a good
and on the
defense over there.
pursuits.
Is playing much over.
Dalton goes in motion. Smalls breaks free to the right side, gets the corner. There goes Aiden Smalls for the Clayton Comets, heading toward the end zone. Tiptoes his way.
Our backup
You and
quarterback.
I will be great friends. Definitely.
I didn't even see
Some
room for
moments
another
deserve to be
ad
remembered
on there.
forever. An anniversary that honors the life you've built.
There's the ignition for the Comets from 58 yards. Aiden Smalls lifting the Comets into a fourth quarter contest here with Grimsley. They're back.
Into the out, their comeback.
It's the second punt of the game, and it's blocked position.
8 early.
His way, a little slip, and now Smalls lost for the Comets.
Here comes collapse.
They said last week after their win against Mike, it'll be about a yard short of a first down.
They've had that whatever it takes mentality. And right running, they're succeeding.
We're gonna have to make
Looking for
RPOs that
DJ
turn
Howardson.
You know that.
And Clayton will get the football back with 1:42 to go.
They're trying to sneak this into Howerton, who signed with Rutgers. They're looking to him on a pop
That was
pass,
their tight end on the
Clayton
running back.
defending it.
Buy some time. He will run.
Looks hypo-ish. Hazel-ish.
Rushing
Play
4.
ball.
Smalls throws across the middle.
Just
Tip and
ish.
caught by Fiore at the 40-yard line. It's off
Think
the
he's a little
fingertips of
wish right
Parker Ferguson. And Fiore behind.
Side arm.
Stole his
Play in the
teammate's
7-8 title game. A pump fake
bag.
toward the pylon. And have to take down with a 10-point win over the Clayton.
Fajon state champion. I'm not mad at it. Look at David Gabriel Georges, man. Can we get him to the school this year? Can we get him on campus this year? Can we get him on campus this year? let's talk about Liverpool again. Let's get back into it. Jeremy Jacquet, what do we feel about him? How do we feel about Jeremy Jacquet? How do we feel about him? You know, I thought he played well. I thought he played good. First game in the Premier League, coming from the French league. You know, the second goal, we could say, hey, you should have stopped the ball a little bit earlier. It's an adjustment period. That's probably something you can get away with, you know, at the lower levels of football. Um, Something you can probably get away with a little bit more. I think he'll adjust. He looked great on the ball. He looked very confident. He looks like he's up to par as an athlete for the Premier League. I don't think he'll let it happen again. Honestly, don't. I think he looks smooth out there. Virgil. How do we feel about Virgil? I think Virgil looks looks kind of like a shell of himself right now. We're not getting the best Virgil van Dijk right now. You know, he's still great aerially. Um, he's still good in the one-on-one, but his team defense doesn't seem to be as sharp. His decision making doesn't seem to be as sharp. Um, but he's still great on the ball. He's still great ball. I would like to see more of him pinging the ball around. I'd love to see more. You know, we don't have Trent anymore for those cross field passes. I think Virgil is still a good passer of the ball. He might be our best passer of the ball to swing the ball to the other side of the field. He might be the best at it right now at the club. We need that. We need guys getting in behind. Free Rio over the top. Because Rio just getting the ball on the touch line and running at his defender when he's right footed and he wants to go left is just not a good game plan. And we don't get the ball to our guys. We don't get the ball to our wingers fast enough. We got Soboslai wanting to touch the ball and look around, and Verts touching the ball and looking around instead of getting the ball up the field. That's what I love about Trey. You know, he's going to get the ball up the field. The Cowboys going to get the ball up the field. You aren't Kevin De Bruyne. Like, if you're not Kevin De Bruyne, if you're not going to make a risky pass the ball. What we doing? If you're not going to run at anybody, pass the ball. It's one thing about Gravenberch. He'll turn you and get past 2-3 guys. He'll try to pass the ball, make something happen. Granted, do you want that to happen from your six all the time? No, but one thing that was so good about McAllister and Soboslai and Gravenberch 2 years ago, we had the best midfield in the world. We went like unbeaten. We easily won the Premier League when we finished number 1 in the Champions League. All right, when we lost to PSG on penalties in a game where Konate makes an error, and you know we kind of know what Konate turned out to be those last 2 years. A lot of individual errors cost Arne Slot his job. When we had the best midfielder in the world, right? And there's a reason why Verts was brought in, and Soboslai was, and we were like, maybe Soboslai is the greatest option as a 10. And Soboslai still has a bit of those problems, right? I've said it in previous pods. He can take a step. He can take a step tactically, knowing his position, being in position. He could take a step technically, for sure, getting better with his back to the goal, getting better with the simple stuff, making the simple pass. 1-2 touch advancement. right? We obviously know how hard he works. We obviously know what the talent he is as a dead ball striker. If you can get that same talent with a live ball, now we have something here, right? Now we maybe, now maybe those Stevie G comparisons start becoming a little bit more true. Verts, he's just got to be more aggressive. He's got to be more aggressive. He's got to understand that this is the Premier League. He's just, just like you, these are grown men. These are men fighting for their jobs, fighting for their lives in the Premier League. This is not guaranteed. Playing time is not guaranteed. Staying promoted is not guaranteed. Staying in the Premier League is not guaranteed for a lot of these guys. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna scrap. They're gonna do everything possible to try to win. It's not always time to be smooth. It's not always time to look cool and look like nothing's happening. Like, you gotta have some ferocity to you. You gotta have some tenacity to you. You gotta have some nasty to you, some edge. Especially if you want to be a Premier League midfielder. Other than that, I thought you played well. Honestly did. I thought that was honestly one of your better games as a Liverpool midfielder. I really did. Gakpo. There's been a lot of talks about Gakpo. Manchester City won him. Tottenham won him. A lot of fans are a little bit more hesitant to sign now that he's been playing well as of late, scoring 2 goals in our last 2 games. I never understood the Gakpo hate. Gakpo was the guy that wanted to be here. Mane didn't. Gakpo was the guy that wanted to be here. Luis Diaz didn't. Both of those guys wanted to leave. Both of those guys wanted to go to Bayern. Gakpo had an opportunity to go to Bayern. Gakpo had an opportunity to go to Manchester United. Gakpo chose Liverpool. And he never got the love. Fans love Nunez, but not Gakpo. Andrew Gakpo was playing out of position a lot. A lot of center forward. Slot put him on the wing full time. And then he got Kirkes behind him. And we chose to blame Gakpo. He put him on the wing full time, and rest in peace, there was no more Diogo Jota. There was no more Bobby Firmino. There was no more Trent Alexander-Arnold. And we chose to blame Gakpo. Not we. You guys chose to blame Gakpo. And now that the whole world wants him because they realize his talent, you guys act like the Euro League and what he does for Netherlands is fluky. No, he does it every single time. There's a reason why we signed him. It's because of the 2022 World Cup. The reason why we signed him, 2018 World Cup. Pretty good at what he does. I don't understand it. We love Szoboszlai. We want him to be our next captain. He probably will be our next captain. Rarely hear Szoboszlai song sang from the cop. Never heard a Gakpo song sang from the clock. I never even heard a Gakpo chant. I've heard Nunez. And rightfully so, Nunez works hard. So what? Who cares? Everybody works hard. This is Liverpool Football Club. I will say Nunez has an edge about him. He needs to teach Verts about having an edge. I'll say that. But I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I also don't understand the negative culture around British sports. Everybody's so pessimistic. I understand that's the nature of England, being a pessimist and things of that nature, but my goodness, at Liverpool it should be different. You never walk alone. Should be no reason why guys who are wearing the badge week in and week out are getting hated on the internet. It shouldn't be a question of is his talent good enough. If you don't think Gakpo's talent is good enough, you don't know football. You're the only one that thinks that way. You and the rest of the haters. Manchester City is not just going to want you if you don't have talent. Tottenham, they've signed some very talented guys. Bayern isn't going to want you if you don't have talent. I don't get it. You don't consistently be in the running for Euro Player of the Year, Euro League Player of the Year, Euro Conference League Player of the Year, Player of the Tournament, should I say, if you don't have talent. You don't start for the Netherlands and don't have talent. I don't understand. People say, "Oh, he's predictable." Every left winger is Every winger is predictable. Good players are predictable. You make no sense. Everybody knew what Thierry Henry is going to do. Everybody knows what Vinicius Jr. is going to do. Everybody knows what Mbappe is going to do. Everybody knew what Mo Salah was going to do. Good players are predictable. If you want to say we've never replaced Mane, sure. But who was as good as Mane? The year Mane left, he was honestly our best player on the team. And when did we look our best under slot? We honestly looked our best when our front three was Salah on the right, Luis Diaz in the middle, and Gakpo on the left. When we were able to play Diaz as a false nine in a Bobby Firmino type of role, he's able to come back, get on the ball early, advance the ball to Salah and Gakpo ahead of him, similar to Firmino would do, to what Firmino would do. That's when we looked our best. And Szoboszlai wasn't, dependent upon to make plays, and Verts wasn't dependent upon the way he played. Verts wasn't there. McAllister was. McAllister would be a great job getting the ball in the back line. So Gravenberch as well. Gravenberch was basically a destroyer type of midfielder. Now we don't think it's possible for him to do it anymore. I don't get it. Why do we not hate the way Ibrahima Konate left, but we hated the way Trent left? Why do we not hate the way Curtis Jones left, but we hate the way Trent left? Just because of the $35 million that we got for Curtis. Is that why we don't hate the way he left? Giving up on the team, pouting on the way out, not really trying, not, making it known that he doesn't want to be here. Konate, just having less than stellar season. Let me say it like that. Making it known that he didn't really want to be here. Getting exactly what he wants from his contract and then saying, I want a little bit more. Forcing his way out on a free. I understand the Diaz and Mane. You know, they were kind of both disrespected by the fans because of the greatness of Mo Salah. We don't hate the way Mo Salah left, though. He left on a free. We could have got $200 million from Saudi Arabia. Is it because Trent's from Liverpool? But so is Curtis Jones. I don't get it. And people say, "Oh, I don't want him back." I want him back. If you want what's best for Liverpool, you want him back. Unless we can go out and get Hakimi. Unless we can go out and get Dumfries. Yeah, I want him back. What are we doing? That'll wrap up another lunchtime pod. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Got some nice talks for you guys, nice clips for you guys, man, and we're gonna have another one tomorrow. We'll tune back in tomorrow.
This is the dangerous and limited, what would you song?